Yes, it's probably a pretty oxymoron type of heading that you just read then, but it's absolutely true. Some people have been able to seize the opportunity, take the initiative, and are absolutely thriving with COVID. And also, as we come out the back, let's dive in right now with one team that has been doing that absolutely brilliantly. As the heading of this podcast says, yes, you absolutely can do more than just survive, but you can actually very well thrive with your team, with your business and your clients with COVID and after COVID. And one such team that's done a brilliant job through COVID and after COVID is Active Health Clinic in Melbourne. And we've got the business owner, founder, and I might also say this, the 2021 Exercise Physiologist of the Year, Nathan Butler, with us this morning. So welcome.
Great to be here, Jace. Thanks.
Pleasure. Now, mate, I think the heading says it all for what we're talking about here. And I always like bringing guests on without prepping them because I want to try and make it as natural and organic as possible. So all you know is we're going to be talking about the COVID side of things and going from there. But I know that you're super smart and you've got an amazing amount of gold nuggets. Give me a bit of an insight as well, because obviously for so many people, COVID has been something we've never experienced before, obviously, and we don't want to dive into what COVID's all about and things like that. But for most people, it has been a desperate time to just try and survive. It has been a time where doors have closed or there's been massive reductions in serviceability or who's can do what. And we've had to move things to telehealth. And then we've had all the restrictions and lockdown and jail. I mean, you're in the most lockdown city in the world. So congratulations on that world record.
A trophy for that.
Yeah. So it's like Melbourne, they just, trying to be competitive and with Sydney and, they've gone for a trophy that Sydney doesn't want. But mate, just talk me through it. Obviously, when COVID first hit and that type of stuff, we all went through the same type of agility and challenges, etc. But as we started to progress through the months, where did your mindset go? Like what were you seeing around COVID with clients that had COVID, had other viral complications, fatigue issues and that? What were you guys seeing that gave you the idea for what you then did and what we'll talk about in a moment?
Yeah, the next step. So look, I mean, working in health, this is a health condition. Like, I think that's the first thing we've got to look at. And like we always say, where there's danger, there's opportunity, that comes. And as a health practitioner, we're here to support people and to work them through those phases. And our niche and our specialty is a large amount post-viral fatigue. So seeing this ahead of time, we know that people that get glandular fever or EBV, that a lot of those will go on to develop chronic fatigue syndrome. They don't with, say, the flu, but they do with COVID. So looking at that, there was always going to be a lot of an aftermath out of it, because a lot of people are concerned about dying, and that should be something that they're concerned about. But at the same time, a lot of people are going to have ongoing symptoms that range with this. So whether that be fatigue syndromes, whether it be like orthostatic and POTS, like blood pressure disorders, or even respiratory problems. And these are things that as EPs and as health professionals and physios and really all our allied health, that we need to be there to help people to take that next step, because it's not going to be a matter of if, it's just really a matter of when.
Absolutely. And so I think for me, I mean, I saw it with yourselves really early on. We were doing a lot of talk with the industry about that whole, and you mentioned part of it before. For me, crisis equals danger plus opportunity. And I think that's something we push forward really heavily. And I had a lot of people sort of saying, what do you mean? Like, there's no opportunity. We're just trying to keep the doors open and we can't do this, we can't do that. But literally through every foundation of time, anytime there's been a challenge and there is a crisis, there's danger and opportunity. And I think that's something that you guys did embrace really well and really quickly, the fact that there is imminent danger, health, death, right? There is some serious avenues to deal with here, but where is the opportunity? And I've got to say, most of the industry went, oh, the opportunity is let's go online, let's do telehealth. And I sort of, without want to being critical to 99% of the industry, that's not an opportunity. That's just your survival mechanism. Your survival was, if you can't operate in a clinic, then you either don't survive or you have to conduct it through another means. So moving to telehealth wasn't someone seizing an opportunity. And I mean, I think last year we were talking about a lot. There's people out there sort of talking about how they pivoted and their business success was because of telehealth. It's like, no, the whole industry just did that because that's what we were forced to. But you guys really did find that opportunity of how to best work in and around COVID and what was going to come because you seized that opportunity. So talk me through what you saw, what you put in place and about the COVID initiative program.
Yeah. So look, we knew from this there's going to be millions of people that need help, and literally tens of millions of people that are going to need. So 8% of people at 8 months are still limited in some facet of their ability to work with mild COVID. So if you do the numbers,
so everyone hears that properly.
8% of people are still limited at 8 months with their ability to work. And this is research done out of health workers in Sweden. And so seropositive, seronegative cases. So it's really significant. And if you look at that, 8% of the millions and millions of people that are out there need help. And how do we reach that? Like, we don't have a capacity. And I think we looked at this and gone, well, we need to be able to give something to people that they actually can do and follow, and at least give them a framework. So that's when we came up with the COVID recovery initiative. And in that early phase, we did have a bit of extra time because we did have a bit of a downturn and had to close the doors. But Raya and I put together in an afternoon 90 videos. So shot after shot after shot, and put together this program. And so covidrecoveryinitiative.com, and basically go on, get the program, and you get videos every single day for 28 days. And this is designed to support people through that, whether they have the fatigue, whether they have the blood pressure or respiratory problems, to just get some stability and to get through. So it's designed to reach everyone, and there's an adjunct for anyone realistically looking care. So it doesn't matter where they are, it's something that they can just get and go. So we've been really proud of that, and there's been a really great take up, and had some clients from internationally, so through the US and UK, Israel, and even obviously Australia as well. But that's just coming.
Absolutely. And I think for me, like when I sort of break this down as to obviously the benefit, we talk a lot about the clinical side of things, and you spoke about sort of the operational side of things. But I think that a lot of people miss those opportunities, you know, and we're not going to go into that whole thing. If you miss every opportunity of the shot you don't take, and all these type of, motivational posters that people put up on the walls. But when we stop and think about it in this situation, you pretty much just identified the fact that you didn't have to do a huge amount different, but it was just about going like 1 inch wide, like step to the side and find, is there actually a hole in the market, right? And there was, and we know that there's a market in the hole too. It's like that whole mentality of go 1 inch wide and 8 miles deep. You didn't, and I think what a lot of people try and do in these situations is they try and pivot. God, I hate that word. They try and pivot, and then they try and do a new program, a new this, a new service, and they'll do 18 different things because they're desperate to try and work something out that works. But when you take the opportunity and you do the right due diligence, it very simply can be, it's 1 inch wide and 8 miles deep. Like you guys have the one main program. It's delivered automatically. It's delivered online. It's something that everyone can be involved in. It's a global initiative. And as a net result, you can literally have thousands and thousands and thousands of people at any one time internationally working through something that's been like a set and forget program.
100%. And the impact is massive. And that's what we as health professionals want to do, is to help people. And we can do it in many different ways, but agree completely that you need to keep to your lane. If you keep to your lane, that's where you're good at. If you start, diversifying too far, then you're a jack of all trades and master of none. So it's looking at where you're good at and just, sticking in that lane.
Yeah. And that also, I mean, this goes beyond COVID too. It goes on in regards to business development and growth, isn't it? We see it all the time. Every month wants to do a new program or design this or do that. And I think as allied health professionals, we've got an avenue to work in a lot of different avenues. I mean, you could pick 35 different chronic conditions that are under Medicare type of thing that you could, go and work in or be specialists in. So it's about, finding the hole in the market and making sure there's a market in the hole, and then, just go 1 inch wide and 8 miles deep, which is what you guys have. So from here, what do you sort of, just to wrap this up, I really want to know your thoughts on this. Look into your crystal ball that you don't have, right? And tell me what's happening, what's COVID going, not what COVID's going to do to society and things like that, but do you feel like we're on top of the recovery side of things and the fatigue, or do you feel like there's going to be more of it? Or, are you starting to feel like there's more complications coming that we don't know of? What's your gut feel telling me?
Oh, there's a lot to come. This is just the beginning. Look, I think that people, if you look at like COVID and other comorbidities, they haven't been getting the care that they need, whether it be diabetes, whether it be anything else that's the standard care. That's going to need a lot more work. We as an industry are going to be in high demand, but especially within
We
the
already
fatigue
are too.
space. Yeah, huge demand. But especially within the fatigue and OI and POT space, there's so much opportunity. Like we're going to thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And I think it's up us. It's important for us as an industry to be able to stand up and show that this is who we are and this is what we can do. And I think that we'll be able to help a lot of people. But we're going to see people for the decades to come, not just the years. Not just the months. The numbers will slowly decrease a bit, but I'd say conservatively, 1% of people will never recover from this and have symptoms that limit their life, and that won't stop. And so that's scary.
That's
and
scary,
that's why,
it's big numbers to deal with, isn't it? Yeah.
Huge. So there will be a huge need, and there'll be a lot of opportunity. And it's something that if we all together, stick to it, then we'll make a big difference.
Absolutely, mate. Well done on whatever you have. You guys really have thrived. I don't think thriven's a word, but
can be now.
It can be now. Yeah, we'll just pop it on a website somewhere and call it a word. But look, you guys really have thrived. You weren't scared of what was there in front. Didn't go into the hole. It wasn't about surviving. It really was thriving. Being able to knuckle in and get a lot of work done with you guys, and it's been really well received and taken. And you guys have done a fantastic job with it. Huge amounts of business growth, team growth, and the best part for me watching all of that as well is the fact that it's just the springboard now for you guys. It's a springboard of what's next. And, you've sort of spoken about even just sticking to your lane right now around, say, the COVID and fatigue space. It is such a massive place and such a massive marketplace. It's only going to get bigger, that this is just the tip of the iceberg for you guys as well. So it's going to be an exciting place to be and work and associated with in the future, buddy. So well done to yourself and all the team.
100%. Cheers, Jace.
Mate, thank you very much. We're going to, no doubt, we'll chat with you again soon. But appreciate your time as always, and keep being a rock star and changing the world around you.
100%. Cheers, mate. Thanks, mate.
Thank you. Hey guys, thank you very much for listening to another episode of the Profitable Practice Podcast. I would love nothing more than for you to be able to leave a review. I get so much joy out of listening and reading the amazing things that you guys say about this. So please subscribe to our channel, leave a review, and share it with your friends. Let's get some more fantastic information out there so all of us can grow the industry together. Cheers for now.